Today we're going to be talking about using the Filipino martial arts for families who have children with special needs. My name is Joe Marano, and this is my son William. And together we're going to be talking about and demonstrating some of the ways that the Filipino martial arts can be used to protect ourselves and those close to us, especially children who may have certain special needs. Now, I teach and train in Sayok Kali under Pamanatuhan Chris Sayok, Atienza Kali under Tuhan Carl Atienza, and the Inasano blend of Filipino martial arts under Guru Dan Inasanto. Now, all three of my instructors have always stressed the importance of family and the significance of the tribe. Now, my tribe could be my family, it could be my community, or it could be my country, or simply even whatever network of people who are close and precious to me. And Guru Dan has talked many times about how we train in the Filipino martial arts not because of our desire to hurt or to destroy, but rather our love of life, and because we hold life to be precious and we want to protect those around us. Now, in the martial arts world, which is very vast, there are plenty of excellent programs for children and individuals with special needs. There's a lot of programs that have been modified with some great systems and great styles and really even terrific instructors that have adapted the martial arts curriculum to fit the abilities of people who may not have the same kind of strengths that everyone else has. And in fact, many martial arts started that way, where certain leaders or certain innovators or certain martial artists had to adapt the structure or the material that they had to fit their own body type, to adjust to their weaknesses, to capitalize on their strengths, and to fit them so that they could, with technique, be able to protect themselves and defend either themselves or their family. Now, my son William has spastic quadriplegic cerebral palsy. Shortly after his birth, around his birth, and in the few months after his birth, he experienced some very traumatic and devastating experiences that really left him with almost no brain. He has pretty much just a brainstem that controls his basic, most fundamental functions. As a result, because of his spasticity and the quadriplegia, he has limited control, voluntary control of his limbs. He would have a hard time grabbing something, or blocking, or punching, or doing other things that people usually associate with martial arts. He's cortically blind, so mostly because of the brain damage, the global brain damage that he has, he would have a hard time tracking, or seeing, or identifying things. He's unable to walk and he can't speak, and we even feed him through a G-tube, so he can't even eat on his own. Now, with my abilities and the things that I could do, how could I take the Filipino martial arts, how could I take the systems of Kali that I've learned and use them in a way that incorporates my son and incorporates my family? Now, usually when we talk about martial arts, especially traditional martial arts, we talk about range, we talk about our striking, our defensive maneuvers, whether we're blocking or parrying, whether we're moving or kicking or other things. William would have a hard time doing some of those things, probably have a hard time doing all of those things. And when I'm with William, my ability to neutralize a threat is not only compromised on many levels, but my overall vulnerability, our overall vulnerability, because of his adjusted abilities, is greatly increased. You know, as you can see, William is in a more or less a standard special needs wheelchair. Now, William is almost 7, and he weighs close to 40 pounds. His wheelchair is at least 50 or 60 pounds. And although it has pretty good positioning so that he can engage the world in a attentive way, we can adjust it and different things. You know, the material of the wheelchair is not really designed to be lightweight. It's not by any means a jogging or exercise wheelchair. It's really meant for stability so that he can be stable and not get knocked down and things like that. And so when we're walking with him, it's not particularly the most comfortable, although he has cushioning and stuff. There's no shocks, and the tires are not, you know, particularly shock absorbent. And so what happens is, one of the key components in any kind of combative sports or martial arts, is the ability to move. And although I can move in 360 degrees, the speed and the agility and my, opportunities to change directions quickly are very, very altered when I have him with me. Even when I have his wheelchair with me, if you can see, even at my greatest reach, I would have a hard time reaching, and if someone were to try and pose physical harm to my son, I may have a hard time even reaching to touch the person that might be trying to touch my son. In other words, my range to them is a lot further than their range to him. When I do have the wheelchair, I have a couple of different options. I can learn to start to move with the wheelchair. I can learn to start to move without the wheelchair and move around him. But while I'm doing that, I also have to think about whatever threat it is that's happening. Now, hopefully my threat will only be on one front, but it could be on multiple fronts. My threat could be, someone that is trying for some reason to cause us harm. It could be an animal. It could be many different things. But just by virtue of his differently abled faculties and the circumstances in which his physical body is, we really have to adjust the Filipino martial arts to try and do what we can and still protect him and still be able to engage and escape in a safe, hopefully a safe manner.